We may wish to eat and enjoy the stuff of the world, but one day the body has to die. So whatever you would like to feed your body or apply all sorts of facial to it or wear the most expensive of dresses, however much you color your hair, the body indeed has to die one day. Once the body is cremated, fire as an element looks at each one of our bodies alike. So even if you wear a nose ring or are the most beautiful girl in the world, fire just then burns all the bodies to ashes alike. When the Atman retracts the consciousness from the body, that is called death of the body, and all the pranas then bail out of the subtle body. The point to note here is that the subtle body is therefore supposed to be cleansed, and since it consists of the mind, it should be used to do good in society, and it should have good intentions like helping someone in need or understanding another person and trying to mentor people. This the Atma generally honors. Hello friends, welcome to my channel All Things Spiritual. Today we will talk about how we could analyze our subtle body and realize our true and full potential to become Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Man is so shallow, he might go on a pilgrimage and would start behaving like he himself has become God. Not everyone can know the philosophy of the entire cosmos. Saints or attained masters do not need to know the entire philosophy as they are fine-tuned with God. And after all, if it's only from this knowledge that we have to reach God, then God is already available within you. That which you choose to seek is within you, and it is your Guru or your Master. In order for us to reach that which we seek, we need to meditate, and in order to pierce into our subtle bodies, we cannot do so unless we close our eyes in meditation. And since mind is part of the subtle body, your mind cannot be repaired or rectified unless we focus ourselves on the inside, and the jiva through its constant habituated lives is engulfed in lust and desires, and through meditation only the coming of these lusty desireful thoughts starts to wane, and through meditation one is able to achieve one pointedness and be attentive, and without this one pointedness and attentiveness our shallow existence won't depart from us, and our desperado like behavior won't change. By desperado I mean not an outlaw, but being an outlaw from the viewpoint of an Atman where the rules of engagement are far stricter. This changes the person's inclination towards life, and through the jiva's mind, intelligence, storehouse of memories and ego, it creates this attitude and inclination towards the world around him or her. This attitude of being an outlaw may turn out later to be bothersome or inconvenient to the jiva. As a result, the person may have an inclination to always fight. Even a small pinprick may cause them to get agitated, and the three gunas are actually responsible for the creation of such an inclination of a person. Rajas, Tamas and Sattva are the gunas that are established via the past karmas of the jiva, and this creates a vicious circle. Due to our karmas, God provides the person with an unbalanced set of gunas, and it may so happen that a person has tamas more and sattva and raja are less, and some may have rajas more compared to the sattva and the tamas guna. This person whose karmas are good only will enjoy a peaceful existence. An aggressive person therefore never enjoys a happy and peaceful existence. The people who think they have a separate existence live in ignorance. The ones behave right in front of the guru or superiors and awkwardly with their colleagues or associates. This the Atman is watching, and the guru knows these people, and he keeps such such two-faced and deceitful people away from him. Because even though we have our own individual appearance, we are still Chidananda Rupo Shivoham Shivoham, which means I am form of pure consciousness and bliss, and I am Shiva, the auspiciousness itself. This mantra, which reminds us of our oneness with the absolute, the transcendent, the ultimate reality, the truth. Sri Adi Shankaracharya calls out this part in the Nirvana Shatakam with the ending lines as Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. The main aim of this divine hymn is of self-realization. The Nirvana Shatakam lyrics and meaning give a great view of oneself and thrive us to experience the pure consciousness and bliss of self-realization. There are a total of 6 verses in this hymn, so-called Shatakam. As the hymn makes us realize the Atman or the Self, it got the name of Nirvana Shatakam or Atma Shatakam. When it comes to Nirvana Shatakam, meaning the ultimate thing explained is to realize and reach the state where a devotee feels his form as pure consciousness, bliss, and God Shiva himself. Another understanding to the main aspect of chanting the hymns is that when on the path to realization we cannot denigrate anyone, that he is this or that is due to his own karmas, and why do you want to be a know-it-all to tell that? Even to belittle beggars, we have no say in it, and in a way we are all beggars, isn't it? God only donates to us in order for us to live our lives. In a sense that every single existing jiva are all beggars. If we don't get air to breathe, even for a moment, could you imagine what could happen to us? The gross body would turn bluish. If the count of white blood cells go down, then what would happen? If our bone marrow stops producing blood cells, what happens next? Are these things even in our control? Body regulation itself is not in our hands. So all of us are God's servants only. Your self-importance is all at play of Maya. Maya is there and it is also not there until it stops you in its tracks. It is there. Once you have won over Maya, then it isn't there. Therefore, you cannot say Maya operates or not. Once you overcome Maya, they feel Maya doesn't exist. Therefore, it's sufficient to say that it's between yes and a no. Once you get stuck in Maya, you will wallow and give yourself up for the world and be a slave to the materialistic world. And once you have won over Maya, then only you can turn towards God. The journey of the Atman is not known to him or her until the time of their death. All this abstract quintessential knowledge is absolutely of no use after death. The reason to this is that the gross body is just insentient or inanimate. The entire makeup of the gross subtle layers are through the 5 elements. Even though the intelligence gets sharp, it cannot still know the Atman. In order for the Jiva to know the Atman, the only way this is through the bhakti path or a devotional path, through constant recitation of the name of God and through meditative practices. The meditative practices open up the inner viewports of the person, and these help to view the whole universe inside of them. Instead of setting our sights at the outer world, we should therefore look inwards. We should also set smaller objectives for ourselves. A person who sets a big objective, that is also an ego trip for the person, and he then is unable to achieve anything in his life. The reason for this is that the mind is wavering, restless and shaky, and this is of no use. Such a person is constantly located in unhappiness. We need therefore to be forbearing, tolerant and patient, because insults and injuries happen only through ignorance. Well, he made a face at me and told me this and that. As long as the jiva is situated in this ignorance, only then does he feel like he is an individual. When we don't know that we are part of that one indivisible Atman, only then we feel sadness. Eknath, a Hindu saint and a philosopher, never felt insulted because he had understood God. When we get unnecessarily stuck in ourself, identified with the gross body, then we will get stuck in it and we will end up doing unnecessary karmas that our Atma does not approve us of doing. Then we may end up drinking alcohol or involving ourselves in anti-social activities. Once the jiva commits gross errors in his life, then he ends up in a place where he may be totally unhappy and dejected in his life and may face various ailments in the rest of his life. The cause of our desires, therefore, happens through our subtle body, and its effects happen on our gross body. And the Atman materializes such effects on the gross body. Such a materialization is called the Mahakaran. So our behaviors that are manifested via our subtle desires based on the subtle body, the repercussions of which are then borne on the gross body through the Atman, and these maladies the jiva has to bear for his lifetime. The gross, subtle are therefore ways and means of the jiva to make or break his lifetime on earth. Therefore, it's said in the Bhagavad Gita, elevate yourself through the power of your mind and not degrade yourself, for the mind can be the friend and also the enemy of the self. If you wallow in the tamoguna, then your destiny will be very bad. The person will be insatiated and always looking out for more and more. And if you are situated in rajoguna, then it's also bad, restless and agitated. And as the sattva increases in the person, then he enters into peacefulness and calmness, and one that goes beyond the gunas and ends up being a saint. Once the guna barrier is crossed, then the person is unaffected by the gunas and can access the major powerhouse of the Atman, which is eternal peace. Getting therefore to know the Atman is tough, and as the jiva not knowing the gross aspect itself, he is therefore enveloped by ignorance. The knowledge of the Atman would not be known unless the jiva can cross his ignorance barrier. The ignorance is part of the subtle body, and there lies all kinds of lusts and longings and desires, and therefore our main goal should be to clear our subtle body due to the creation of the body-mind complex. In the subtle layer, the individual or the jiva gets wrapped up with his gross body. The person is so much in love with his own body that he tries to make it perfect by doing various surgeries and facelifts and Botox operations. Instead, he or she could have a resolute stance to improve himself or herself by picking up daily practices of chanting and meditation. Once that happens, and with continuous practice, a glow comes on the face of the individual through changes that take place in the subtle body, and because those changes take place, therefore going into the subtle is dhyan, which is meditation, and there our lusts and longings and desires start to evaporate in the subtle body, and then the jivatma and the atma become one. Once the ignorance is blown out, the person will then cross the three gunas barrier and then be Chidananda Shivoham Shivoham. How did you like the video on the subtle body and realization of the potential to become Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham? Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.